Celtic are champions for the fifth year in a row, but the drama has not stopped for a single second since that incredible final day at Celtic Park. We have got the Hearts fallout continuing, a major phone leak story involving the manager, summer transfer news already moving fast, and a legendary Celtic hero making a brilliant claim about what Martin O'Neill deserves next. Let's get into it. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Neil Lennon knows better than most what Martin O'Neill is capable of doing to a football club, and ahead of Saturday's Scottish Cup final against Dunfermline at Hampton, he has made a bold claim about just how good his former manager really is. The two men are linked by years of shared history. Lennon played under O'Neill at Leicester City as a young midfielder and went on to become absolutely central to the Celtic side that dominated Scottish football in the early 2000s, breaking Rangers' grip on the game and reaching a UEFA Cup final. That O'Neill era shaped Lennon as both a player and eventually as a manager himself. Now, the pair find themselves on opposite sides of a Scottish Cup final, O'Neill having delivered one of the most dramatic title wins in recent memory, while Lennon has taken Dunfermline on a remarkable cup run that has seen them knock out Premiership opposition to reach Hampton. Lennon spoke this week about the standards O'Neill set throughout his career and what those dressing rooms looked like from the inside. He reflected on what his former manager achieved at Leicester in particular, a club with a fraction of the resources of the teams around them, competing at the very top of the Premier League year after year. He said, "He teaches you how to win. I was very, very lucky. I'd had 10 years of Martin in his pomp. Everyone talks about what he did here. What he did at Leicester was incredible. Obviously getting promotion, and then we had 4 top 10 finishes in the Premier League and 3 League Cup finals. He was on a fraction of a budget compared to the rest. If that was a modern day manager now, he'd be going to Bayern Munich or somewhere like that." Bayern Munich. That is the level Lennon is putting O'Neill at. Not just a decent manager, not just a good one, world class. The kind of manager elite European clubs chase. Whether or not O'Neill continues at Celtic beyond this summer, Saturday at Hampton is a chance to end this extraordinary chapter with a domestic double. Whatever happens next, Lennon's words make clear that the man in the Celtic dugout right now is operating at a level that deserves far more recognition than it has always received. Now for the main story, as Celtic have been told they must move quickly in the summer transfer window with multiple positions needing to be filled, and a Scotland international striker has now emerged as a genuine target for the club. Kieran Bowie caught the eye during his time at Hibs before making a £6 million move to Hellas Verona in January, a club record fee for the Edinburgh side. That transfer seemed to close the door on any Celtic interest. But Verona's relegation from Serie A has changed everything. The Italian club have been confirmed as relegated, finishing 14 points adrift in second bottom with 1 game left to play. Bowie managed 4 goals in 13 appearances during a difficult season for the club, including strikes against Juventus and Inter Milan. Those performances against top opposition showed what the 23-year-old is capable of when given the right platform. An Italian outlet, Arena, reported this week that Celtic remain very much in the picture for Bowie's signature. Their report stated, "The newly crowned Scottish champions are eyeing Kieran Bowie, whose recent goals against Juventus and Inter have sparked a wave of interest. Celtic, however, stuffed with short, lean forwards, desperately need a centre-forward, and Bowie fits the bill perfectly as a physical striker, but also capable of getting into space and playing for his teammates. Celtic are keeping an eye on things, even if only remotely for now." That is encouraging language. Verona will be offloading players as they prepare for life in Serie B, which gives Celtic a realistic chance of getting a deal done without a bidding war. Bowie missed out on Scotland's World Cup squad, but the potential is clearly there. A physical striker who scored against Juventus and Inter at 23 years old is exactly the kind of profile Celtic have been crying out for. In other news, the fallout from Celtic's dramatic title win over Hearts is continuing to unfold, and journalist Stephen McGowan has delivered a damning verdict on how the Edinburgh club have handled proceedings. To recap the situation, Celtic won the title in the most dramatic fashion possible, with Callum Osman scoring a 98th minute goal at Celtic Park to seal a 3-1 win over Hearts and clinch the championship on the final day. The pitch invasion that followed caused chaos, and in the days since, Hearts released a statement claiming they had written to the SFA and SPFL, questioning the circumstances surrounding what they described as the premature ending of the match. However, the SFA stepped in this week and released the official audio from the game, confirming that referee Don Robertson had officially ended the match, and crucially that Hearts manager Derek McInnes had been happy for the game to conclude at that point so his players could leave the field. McGowan, speaking on the press box, was blunt about what this means for Hearts. He said, "I think it's embarrassing for them. I think Hearts would argue that it's not the position of the first team manager to make that decision. There's probably a case for that. If they were of a mind to say, no, hang on a minute, we still dispute, then they could do that. That would be their right. But I certainly think it's awkward. I think it's a little embarrassing for Hearts." He was equally cutting about some of the wider commentary that has followed, adding that pundits, commentators, and even political correspondents in London had embarrassed themselves with some of the claims being made. The SFA audio has now been made public. The match ended officially and legitimately. Hearts have to decide whether they want to take things further or accept that the evidence does not support their position. In other news, Luis Palma's future at Celtic looks to be heading for a resolution very soon, with his loan club Lech Poznan hinting that a decision is just days away. The 26-year-old Honduran winger joined Poznan on loan in June and has had an excellent season in Poland, playing a key role as they won the Ekstraklasa title. It has been exactly the kind of campaign Palma needed after a difficult period at Celtic, where he struggled to nail down a regular starting position. Poznan have already had a couple of bids rejected by Celtic, who have a €4 million release clause in his contract. The Polish champions are keen to make the deal permanent, and Celtic are reportedly open to renegotiating the terms, which suggests both clubs are moving towards finding a number that works. The club's press officer, Adrian Galuska, hinted this week that Palma's future could be resolved within days. He said, "It's no secret that Luis has felt at home in Poznan throughout this season. He's been able to work his magic, be effective, contribute key statistics, and play a part in several important results for the team. We have to wait for the final decisions. We knew from the start that they would come after the season." Lastly, Martin O'Neill has revealed a remarkable story ahead of Saturday's Scottish Cup final, confirming that his personal phone number was leaked online following Celtic's dramatic title win over Hearts, leading to a barrage of abuse and messages that forced him to change a number he had held for 35 years. O'Neill has been nothing short of extraordinary since returning for his second interim spell at the club. 7 successive league wins in the run-in, a 99th-minute penalty win at Motherwell in the penultimate game, and then Callum Osman's 98th-minute strike against Hearts to seal the championship on the final day. The football has been relentless, emotional, and completely gripping. But in the aftermath of the Motherwell win, someone had circulated O'Neill's private phone number online, and what followed was deeply unpleasant. He explained, "I've changed my telephone number because it was circulated around. You want to hear some of the comments on those? That was from Wednesday night. I had to change it. It's not a problem, but I've had it for 35 years, and it was kind of part of me at the end of the day. It got circulated somewhere, but they are on tape. It was messages, text, everything. That was before the game. I decided on Friday that I needed to change it to concentrate on the game on Saturday. I haven't contacted the police yet, but I may do. There were only about 250 calls." That's all the latest Celtic news for today. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. I'll see you in the next one.